What have you heard lately about the potential for renewed talks over the next couple of days? And do you know any more than we know about how promising that looks to get some type of permanent ceasefire?
Well, as you see, President Trump's leadership, he wants to bring an end to this war. Remember, this is a 47-year war begun by the Ayatollahs when they took power in Iran. President Trump wants to bring this war to an end, a 47-year war. Remember, we're just about 6 weeks into concluding this when President Trump took action to stop the nuclear capabilities and the ballistic missiles there in Iran. So I'm cautiously optimistic. You're seeing that reflected right now. And it's remarkable, Joe, to see what's happening with the S&P is approaching perhaps record levels today. You see WTI and oil is down now in the low 90s again. There's volatility certainly in the energy markets. But I tell you, this is a short-term price we're going to pay for some tremendous long-term benefits for our kids and our grandkids.
Good. I mean, there was a run on pearls, Senator, back for the tariff during that time. And, oh, my God, the amount of pearl clutching over the last couple of weeks is similar in terms of what it's going to do to the economy. And as you point out, S&P new highs, NASDAQ close, transportation average new highs. The bond market has been pretty well behaved, too. I know you follow all those things. If inflation is roaring back, where is that in the bond market?
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I think key to that is going to be get these oil prices back down. But you look at the longer-term trends, what's happened in oil pricing. We were at 5-year lows on gas prices. Of course, we had a spike with what happened with the conflict there in Iran. But I am absolutely convinced you're going to see a restabilizing of those oil prices and gas prices coming back down. But this is a short-term price that we're paying that's going to yield tremendous dividends. I mean, many of us remember what Iran was like, pre-1979. Remember what happened in the War of Yom Kippur when we had in 1973 disruptions in the oil markets. Oil prices quadrupled during that time. And because of President Trump's leadership, because we're getting behind more made-in-America energy, it's amazing how resilient, frankly, the energy markets are at this kind of moment when you have the Strait of Hormuz literally blockaded at the moment, but under control of U.S. forces.
You're in Senate leadership, and you're, with Senator Thune and others. How will and shifting gears, how does the DHS finally end? Are the votes there for a reconciliation to do it that way, or do you expect the House to eventually pass that bipartisan Senate bill?
Yeah, well, I tell you what's an unfortunate moment, Joe, to think that we can't get Democrat cooperation to get funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Thank God President Trump intervened through executive action and funded TSA at a moment when our TSA agents are about ready to walk off the job because they're not being paid, to make sure we kept the airways clear and flying. But I'm cautiously optimistic we'll find a way through this. But sadly, it's going to be purely through partisan means versus bipartisan means. We've got to get back to regular order on appropriations, Democrats and Republicans working together to get appropriation bills passed. For them to absolutely take a hostage, not funding DHS at a time when we're under tremendous threat levels with what's going on in Iran, it's inexcusable. They're having their, I'll call it their political hissy fit at the moment because their radical base wants to keep borders wide open and defund law enforcement. That's why we now as Republicans have to go alone to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
If you look at what's possible in November, and you're in Senate leadership, you've done a lot to elect senators in various states in the past. The message you're giving seems to be falling flat or not getting out or something. There's a real concern now, obviously, about the House in November, but seeping into that now and in the betting markets and such, into the Senate as well. Why do you think that is, and what can change between now and November for Republicans, in your view?
Joe, we've got to do a better job of reminding the American people where we were just a year and a half ago under Joe Biden's leadership. Wide open southern border, flood of drugs and illegals coming across into America, violent criminals coming into our country. President Trump has sealed the southern border. We're seeing fentanyl seizures now dramatically dropping because of the result of this president and Republican leadership. Let's not forget today is tax day. On the affordability question, one way to address affordability is putting more dollars in the pockets of the American people for hardworking Americans. 90% of senior citizens are not going to be paying tax on their Social Security benefits because of what we did under President Trump's leadership in signing the law with a working family tax cut bill. We're seeing relief now Tens of millions of Americans who work on tips and on overtime are seeing tax relief, refunds up 13% from where they were a year ago.
We only have a couple seconds. I just want to jump in and kind of paraphrase possibly future Speaker Jeffries. I mean, the numbers don't look great for Republicans in the fall. Gas prices being where they are, affordability being what it is, and you yourself, you're retiring. You know, it's going to be tough.
Well, look, anytime you have the 6-year itch in elections, that's the second midterm for a president, it's always headwinds coming into that election cycle. But I tell you, when you step back and remind the American people where we were just 18 months ago in terms of the chaos on the southern border, when the American people start seeing the benefits of the working family tax cut, it's a very dynamic situation. They're just now receiving their refunds. Only about 45% of the tax returns have been processed. And when you think about what happened here for our businesses, having the 100% expensing of capital investment, of research and development, of interest, and making that permanent to provide certainty for our businesses across America, that really is jet fuel for this economy. That's going to take a little bit more time to kick into gear. But I tell you, I think that the tax relief is going to be very much in the short term and help the American people on affordability.